first law of tough competitions. What it says essentially is that only a few people get success in any competition that is a tough competition. Let me ask you a question. Out of 100 sincere students who join coaching for a tough competition, how many get success? And the answer would be, it depends on competitions. If you want to become an IS officer, perhaps 4 lakh people take the test and 150 people become IS officer every year. So that's less than 0.1%. That's very, very tough, and that's the toughest exam in the country. Now, if you are for IIT, maybe 2 to 5%. Same thing for CAT for admissions to IIMs, and so on and so on. So one key to understand is, of all the 100 students that you may have in your class, only a small number of them are going to get success. One example is, even in a place like Kota, and even if you take the best coaching center there, and they get about 10%, 15%, or about that much, which means even when the best of the people come from all over the country to Kota, those students are highly motivated. That's why they leave their home and live alone in Kota. And of course, most likely, most of them work hard, yet 80%, 85%, 90% would fail to get into IIT. So what you need to understand is that the competitions are tough, which means your chance of success increases only if you are truly committed, if you want to do everything in your power to get success. If you just want to pass time and do something half-heartedly, let's try and see what happens, then the chance of success is very, very small. That brings us to law number 2, which says law of average results. And that means if you do what most students are doing, you are likely to get the same results that most people get. And most people means, what results do they get? They fail 90 to 98% in most competitions. So this law says that almost everybody fails. And that means for your success, you must do something that is more than what others do, and that is different from what others do. It is not enough if everybody's joining one coaching, that's everybody's working 3 hours a day. The same thing if you do, you will not likely succeed. And that brings us to law number 3, law of the bell curve. It's very, very easy. What it says is that the difference between the success and failure is just 1 mark. And in any competition, if you get 1 mark less, you may be out. That's all. And that's the major difference between exams and competitions. For example, in exam, if you get 60% marks, you are called first division. If you get 75%, they say you passed with distinction. So let me ask you, if there are 2 students, one gets 75%, another one gets 79%. That's a huge difference of 4%. But you would say both are brilliant students. They both got great success and they both succeeded. However, in a competition, now that depends on marks, like in IIT maybe about 40% people get 40% marks, they get successful. Let's say one person got 40% and one person got 40.01%. Now the student getting 40.01% may get selected and 41% may not get selected based on where the line is. So that's how tough competitions are. And which also means that the secret of success in competitions is it is not the absolute term in which you have to be good, which means it is not that you have to get 90% marks. If in some exams like IIT, you get 40-45% marks, you are likely to get success. So if you can get 55-60% marks, then your success can be almost sure.